Hi everyone. Today is a very important day. Perhaps the most important day in all of human history. It is May 8th, and we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the victory won by the Soviet and Western Allied forces over Nazi Germany. On this very day, 75 years ago, the most horrible war in history came to an end. And today we are celebrating peace and freedom and paying tribute to all those who made this day possible. Because if it wasn't for this day, the world we know would have never existed, and most of us would have never been born. This was the most terrible war on earth. It took dozens of millions of lives across the globe. Over 28 million people died in the Soviet Union alone, half of them civilians of all ages. And we will never forget the military and civilian victims of that war, including the fighters of the Resistance, the victims of the Holocaust, and countless other innocent victims. We will never forget them. We owe our lives, our happiness, all our life opportunities, everything we have to this day. So today, in a show of my deepest respect and admiration for this greatest generation that made this victory possible and secured a happy, safe, and peaceful future for our generation and for all generations to come, I would like to recite lines from a beautiful poem by American poet James Schevill, titled The Siege of Leningrad. It tells the story of Leningrad, the city that lost 1/3 of its population during the war. Perhaps that is one of the most horrible pages in all of human history. Lest we forget. So, James Schevill, The Siege of Leningrad. By newsreel flash, the crumbling scene flows like lava to the staring eye. Winter hangs in angles over houses, houses wrinkled, withered by bombs. No water flows through the city. Thin hands hack at the ice in thirst. I would stare at the screen calmly. Life is a fugue repeating war. Time is the calendar of scars. I see the courage of the city, the working children shingle thin, the women's faces like carved wood, their pride written in mirror eyes, defies the razor wind that mocks the skin. Life is a fugue repeating war. Time is the calendar of scars. We will never forget what happened back then. We will never forget all those victims of all nations and ages that lost their lives. So on this day, I wish you all happiness, love, and peace. And thank you for listening. Et maintenant, pour rendre hommage à tous ceux qui ont contribué à cette victoire, qui l'ont rendue possible, à tous ceux qui ont lutté, qui ont péri et qui ont gagné, qui ont remporté cette victoire glorieuse. je voudrais réciter un beau poème écrit par le poète français Arthur Rimbaud, Le dormeur du Val. Ce poème a été écrit bien avant la Deuxième Guerre mondiale, mais il est toujours très poignant et très d'actualité. Alors, Le dormeur du Val, Arthur Rimbaud. C'est un trou de verdure où chante une rivière, accroche en follemantes herbes des haillons d'argent. Où le soleil de la montagne fière luit. C'est un val qui mousse de rayons. Un soldat jeune, bouche ouverte, tête nue, et la nuque baignant dans le frais cresson bleu dort. Elle est étendue dans l'herbe sous la nue, pâle dans son lit vert, où la lumière pleut. Les pieds dans le glaïeul, il dort, souriant comme sourirait un enfant malade. Il fait en somme. Nature berce le chaudement, il a froid. Les parfums ne font pas frissonner sa narine. Il dort dans le soleil, les mains sur sa poitrine. Tranquille. Il a 2 trous rouges au côté droit. On n'oubliera jamais cette guerre. Alors, aujourd'hui, je voudrais vous remercier de m'avoir écouté. Et je vous souhaite à toutes et à tous de l'amour, de la santé, du bonheur et de la paix, de tout mon cœur.